Hi! Welcome back to my channel. If you've watched my book lovers gift guide, you would have heard me talk about a box of stories. And if you can't guess from the thumbnail or the title, as I say every single time, this week I am doing an unboxing of a box of stories. Now this looks like I'm just showing you a plain cardboard box, I swear. There we go. There is a logo on this. My cousin brought a box of stories to my attention, I would say maybe last month, and I absolutely loved the idea. In case you're not aware, a box of stories promotes undiscovered authors and books. Each year in the UK, around 200,000 books are published. Now only, I think it's 17% of those are lucky enough to get a decent marketing budget and make it to the bestsellers list. So that leaves a huge 83% of books that are published that just go completely undiscovered. Until now. So like I said, I really like this idea. I like the idea of saving books, basically. I can't bear to think about books being thrown away. But I must say, I was thinking, if they are sort of not making the bestsellers list, are they going to be that great? Are they going to be my kind of thing? And I guess we will see. However, when I was reading into it in a little bit more detail, these books are not just sort of randomly picked. Yes, they are surprise books, and I'll go on to that in a second, but a box of stories has an algorithm, and it takes into account a whole range of sort of rankings and reviews and sales figures and bits like that in order to make sure that these are highly regarded books, although they may not have made the bestsellers list. They basically just haven't been as lucky as some of the others. Maybe they weren't in the right place at the right time. Each box includes 4 surprise books. You can choose the genre you're looking to read, or you could just choose a general fiction box, or you could choose a surprise box, which not only is a surprise of the books, but also of the genres that are in there. So I think they do say on their website that a surprise box will include at least 1 non-fiction. If you're someone who enjoys a really wide range of genres, that might be one to go for. If you're a little bit more picky with your genre of reading, as I am, you can choose, I think there's young adult, there's historical fiction, there is a fiction box, there is a mystery sort of thriller box, and there is a light reads box, which is what I have gone for here. The subscription is really flexible. You can basically choose how often you want to receive your box, so that could be every month, it could be every 2, 3 or 4 months, so you don't have to commit to having this every single month. It might be that you're a bit like me and you actually can't read 4 books in a month. You can swap the type of box that you're receiving. It might be that you fancy something a little bit different and you think, do you know what, next month I'm going to go for the thriller mystery box. You can easily do that within your subscription. You can do it as many times as you like. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time, and a box of stories will always make sure that you get 4 new books to you each month. Now you might be thinking, a bit like me, I'd be like, well, I'm not sure I want to sign up for a subscription necessarily right now, because I'd like to get a box, see what I think of it, and then decide. If that is you, they also do one-off boxes. At the moment, on the website, if you sign up for a subscription, you get 5% off your first box and then 10% off any subsequent boxes. However, a box of stories have really kindly given me a code, which I can pass on to you guys, for 30% off the first box of a subscription if you use the code HayleyBiteSize. I will link all of this information in the description below. I mean, the reason why you've probably tuned in to this video, like I do when I look at other people's unboxing videos, is because you want to actually see what's in the box. I get it. We will do that now. Before we get into it, I just want to say, I love the randomness of this. So I feel like this is the book equivalent of my ASOS advent calendar that I've got at the moment. I love the fact that you don't know what you're going to get inside. It gives you an opportunity to try new authors and new books that you wouldn't necessarily have picked up. Okay, right, we are finally going to get into it. Let's have a look at what's in this box. Right, okay, bit of wrapping. Ooh, right, okay, I'm just going to pick one out at a time. I'm going to read the back for you, and then I'm going to give you my first impressions and let you know whether it was something that I would have been drawn to naturally or not, because probably not. Right, this is the smallest one, I think. It looks like the sort of thinnest one. What have we got here? 250 pages, so it's quite a short book. This is Don't Tell Me You're Afraid. This is an international bestseller. Okay, so this is actually based on a remarkable true story, apparently. So it's a moving, inspiring novel of a life lived in hope. Samia Omar grows up in a war-torn Somalia, dreaming of being a world-class sprinter. I'm thinking Michael might like this immediately. She sleeps with a photo of Mo Farah by her bed and trains hard. After achieving a place on the national team to compete in the Beijing Olympics, she sets her sights on the 2012 Games in London. But with the war encroaching on the lives of her family, Samia decides to join her sister and make the treacherous journey to Europe, putting her life and her dreams in the hands of traffickers. I'm back. Apologies if the shot has changed. My battery just ran out of battery. My battery just ran out. Yeah, okay, so this initially, just by looking at the cover, wouldn't be something that I'd naturally be drawn to, but having read the blurb on the back, I actually think that sounds really interesting. Also the fact that we have just finished I'm a Celebrity, where Mo Farah was in the castle, kind of draws me to this even more. So I'm quite impressed by that. So that's the first one, Don't Tell Me You're Afraid, and that is by Giuseppe Catazella. Okay, so that's book 1. Okay, the second book we have, whoa, this is quite a big book. This is called The Devil and Webster by Jean Hanff Korelitz. Again, definitely from the cover, this wouldn't necessarily be something that I'd pick up. It's actually quite a big book. If you look at, oh, here we go. So I'd say that this is a typical sort of paperback. Put them side by side. Can you see? Yeah, it's quite a chunky book. How many pages? 358. This isn't something I'd want to put in my bag to take up to London if I was still commuting. My first impressions of the cover are, it wouldn't be something I was naturally drawn to if I was in a bookshop and having a little browse, but like we just found with this one, never judge a book by its cover. So basically this says it was Naomi Roth's problem, first ignored by her and then irritating to her, and then all at once intractably complex and a threat to everything she had done at Webster and everything she was trying to do. Right. To me that just sounds really confusing. Whereas with this one, I was like, not sure about the cover, read the blurb, thought actually I think I might quite enjoy that. This one, I'm not so sure. I don't know, I might be surprised. Let's see how it goes. So that's the second one. Now the third one is Love After Love by Alex Horston. And interestingly, on the back there are some quotes, and one of them is from Stylist magazine, which I used to pick up while I was in London. I loved that publication, so I'm thinking maybe this might be quite good. Again, the cover is quite, I mean, what can you take from that? Nothing really. So it says, Nancy Jensen is the beating heart of her family. She is the centre around whom many lives turn. Mother, therapist, daughter, sister, wife. But Nancy has a new role, lover. Everyone can be happy, Nancy believes, so long as they can be kept separate. But when these lives start to overlap, collision is inevitable, with consequences for all. I don't really have any feelings towards this, if I'm honest. I'm not sure it'd be something that I would kind of veer towards when it's on my bookshelf. I'm aiming to do a review of all of these when I get to them. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take me to actually decide to pick a couple of these off my shelf. Anyway, okay, the last book we have in here is a hardback, and this is Plume by Will Wileys. And actually there's a quote on the front from David Baddiel. Yeah, so a hardback book. This looks quite cool, I think I would say. So it says on the inside cover, Jack Bick is an interview journalist at Jack Bick is an interview journalist at a glossy lifestyle magazine. From his office window he can see a black column of smoke in the sky, the result of an industrial accident on the edge of London. As Bic's life implodes under the pressure of alcoholism and his many deceptions, the smoke becomes a harbinger of truth and an omen of personal apocalypse. An unpromising interview with a reclusive cult novelist unexpectedly yields a huge story, one that could save his job. But the novelist knows something about Bic, and the two men are drawn into a bizarre, violent partnership that is both an act of defiance against the changing city and a surrender to its spreading darkness. Plume examines the relationship between truth and memory, personal truth, journalistic truth, novelistic truth. It's a surreal and mysterious exploration of the precariousness of life in modern London. I like the idea that this is set in London. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time in London. I lived there for 12 years. I do like a backdrop of somewhere that I can picture really well. I'm quite drawn to the cover. It looks like something that's maybe a bit too cool for me, but we will see. I mean, David Baddiel on the front says, Wiley's is basically Kafka if Kafka had spent more time in British hotels and pubs. Let's try again, shall we? I mean, I think this is probably about the 5th time that I've had to do something with my camera, which I realise must be so annoying watching this. So I'm so sorry if I keep on moving side to side, more zoomed in, zoomed out. Apologies, I'm just having one of those days. These are the 4 books that I've received in my box of stories. This one isn't really appealing to me, got to be honest. You never know, it might be that I start reading it and think, wow, I was totally wrong. That's the one that I'm least interested in, followed by this one, Love After Love. Then I think is Plume, which actually I am quite interested in reading. I like the idea that it's set in London. And then the one that, I've got to be honest, has surprised me the most, but one that I'm actually quite keen to read is Don't Tell Me You're Afraid, which is the one about the Olympics and Somalia. This might be a book that I read and I think, wow, I definitely wouldn't have picked this up, but I've actually really enjoyed it. We'll see if that's the case, because I am going to aim to read all of these. Yeah, I'm going to try and read all of these, and then I will share my thoughts on it in a review. I do have to say that all of these are in such great condition, which the same can't be said for books that I've received from Amazon recently. They've all come with sort of a bent corner, creases across the cover. If you saw I've probably got it behind me actually. If you saw the dust cover of Leave the World Behind, which I pre-ordered, it was all mottled. I haven't had the best of luck with Amazon recently, but I do have to say that all of these are in pristine condition, which I appreciate. And another thing that I appreciate from a box of stories, other than the fact that they're saving books from being pulped, is the fact that you get free delivery in the UK, which I think is amazing because, like I said before, books are pretty heavy and sometimes you can pay sort of £3 or £4 even just to have it delivered, so that is a great plus. I do think that a box of stories subscription would make a lovely gift for someone this Christmas, for someone who's really into their reading, especially if someone reads a lot. Like if they're a speed reader, they get through sort of 4 or 5 books a month, this could be an ideal Christmas present for them, and it's something you can get last minute. So when I looked on their website yesterday, I think it was, they were still able to send out boxes for, I think it was the 20th or 21st of December. Although if you are keen, I would get onto it quite quick just to make sure. If you've watched this and you think, oh actually yeah, that would be quite a nice present for so-and-so, or you're thinking, I might like to try it myself, then don't forget that I've got 30% off. I will pop the code in the description below. Thank you so much for watching my first ever unboxing. I hope you enjoyed it and I didn't waffle on too much. And if you're watching this and you enjoy book reviews from chick lit, popular fiction, a bit of historical fiction, maybe a thriller now and again, or you enjoy book hauls or basically any book related content and you haven't already, please press subscribe, press the bell and you'll be notified when I have a new video. This is my 3rd Christmas mug. I'm gradually building them up. I'm fully in the festive spirit now. If you haven't seen my Instagram stories or you're not following me on Instagram, again, I will leave where you can find me below. I've been sharing each day some of my favourite random, rather eclectic decorations that we have on our tree. And I've got an amazing one coming up. So 2020. So yeah, if you're not following me over there and you'd like to see some random decorations, then yeah, I'll leave where you can find me on Instagram below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good festive week, and I hope to see you again back here next week for my last video of 2020. Take care, bye!